all the rooms and kind of filled in people about what I'm doing today, what kind of initiatives I have, and then how I'm going about it. It's about really going after the abundance. Could be either external but internal. But I kind of think the inner abundance is very important to even to attempt for the external whatever you want, riches, degrees, or whatever. You see, whatever that appeals to you, then you can really do that, right? So I was hoping I will add some light on how to be not self-limited, especially dragged by our own beliefs. It's like this. I'm a physician, very much interested in the neuroscience, and the neuroscience is telling you now we are getting caught in the loop of the limbic system. Let me explain. There are three different brain regions that we are interested in. One is brainstem area, which is like a automatic breathing, automatic heartbeat, and temperature control. All those vital functions it will do whether you do something or not, right? Till you die, right? So that's kind of natural, authentic, and you cannot really easily control them, even though yoga people have some control over them. That's a different story. But generally, we have no control over them. And the second thing is the reptile brain or limbic system or emotional brain, as we call it. That limbic system usually reacts to dangers real and dangers perceived. It was built up in our mechanism so that we can really protect ourselves from real dangers, especially when we were very primitive and all that. We had to react instinctively to protect ourselves from a tiger attack or any other natural danger like that, right? So that is there within us. But then, as humans, as we evolved, we developed the prefrontal cortex. This is the one which discriminates, which really holds the limbic system loop in control, right? So, if you have a perceived danger that somebody is going to attack my name or somebody is going to really put me in trouble. And normally you will react from your limbic system, and then you can get caught in that limbic system loop by reacting continuously, even though the real danger is not there, but it is just happened with you. And these are limiting beliefs mostly. And these limiting beliefs make us drain ourselves by our own inner reactions and all that, right? So, to go to the prefrontal cortex to really understand the danger, not to react, now that takes some development and maturity and seeing what they are instead of reacting to our own imagined ideas or dangers, phantom things, and all that. So, neuroscience has it developed. We can see who are caught in the limbic system and who are really having danger and how they display. We can measure that by our, new scans that really light it up, and especially functional MRI, right? And also we can do EEG and then measure your waves, the different waves, alpha to theta. And if you have a slow wave that are going on because of you are not that reactive, but you are like a meditative and all that, that takes some training to be aware, to be in meditation and all that. Okay. But as a student of ancient wisdom, I found so many ways that they were doing this very well, too well. That's why even the wild animals, when they come to them, they're kind of quiet. So putting it all together, the problems of modern stress and burnout, and the problems of really not getting their all in any activity, and then they're not enjoying the abundance outward because they are poor, scarce within. So I come with this conclusion, like everybody else knows this also. If we are internally abundant by getting rid of our limiting beliefs, we could be doing what we need to do with much more vigor and strength of our mind and achieve the abundance of, it could be money, it could be the positions, it could be something contribution, whatever you want. Okay, so this used to be the case because ancient times they had no this kind of enormous information, enormous technology, enormous temptations, enormous uh, forces that create, disorder within you. And that's true, that is what is happening now. So I came up with the initiative of how can I help people to really pay attention to inner dimension and really cultivate um, behaviors or practices borrowed from the ancient wisdom. Like for example, you have what you repeat the same thing again and again. That becomes very important. You have an affirmation, and you have a negative feedback from your own mind and your training and all that, but then you have the chance to recondition that, rewire your mental mechanism. That's what I am focused on. And so I wrote a book on that. And then I'm going through a course with that too. But I plan to conduct meetings as many as possible. This is the second meeting I'm doing today. And I'm going to invite people if they could come up and ask me questions about this, their own limiting belief, if they want to really brave enough to come and expose it, that's fine, but it's not exposed really, it's a collective learning. I look at that way because we all had limiting beliefs, we all had mechanisms whereby we came out, and some of those things, how they trigger your neuroscience and then teach you how to rewire all that. That's where I want to have not only understanding in a modern way of how our neuroscience is, but I would dare say the ancient yogis and rishis that I worked with are not that back, but then the traditions that have come over. And if you really learn yoga, you learn about the mind, its operations, its effect on you. So if you don't know how to put your own mind on your mind, I'm going to teach you that. This is called turning the mind on your mind itself, on its operations and study. The description is very apt. It said self education, self study, self realization. All this time to point out the real essence of inside, and then bringing it to operate upon the thoughts, emotions, feelings, and all that, not in a repressive way, but by understanding the whole mechanism and studying yourself in real encounters with life. Okay, you can be a mirror of what's going on in your own mind and inner. Lots of times we are trained by our parents, our school, our culture, and some of them they may not intend, but then they will result in like a scarcity mentality or fearful mentality or guilt mentalities and all. These are all the self-limiting affairs, right? And that's where we want to. So first of all, you have to know them, accept them, and willing to change them, right? Nobody can do anything for you if you don't do that. Okay, they may drug you out, they may talk you out of it, but then these things will be there and coming back to haunt you, right? So this entire book, the course, everything is about that. Okay, how can we bring in first of all, understanding our problems and on an individual level, why you are striving for abundance, but it's not coming into your life, why you don't recognize the abundance you already have, and why you are going after that in a meaningless way, and then tire yourself out, right? So there's enough knowledge in the neuroscience about neuroplasticity and rewiring the mind, and really not getting caught in the limbic loop I told you about, right? These are all the things I'm going to work on, and I'm going to present to you some of the things like yoga, asanas, breathing, meditation, self-inquiry, so many process I do daily, which is really keeps me at a positive, abundant mentality all the time. So living in America, I encounter racist tendencies. I encounter a lot of negativities. Many people who don't think this deep, right? But doesn't matter to me because I am in charge of myself and I am going after what I want and I'm doing that. Okay, and celebrating the human life, human capacities, tendencies, and all that. Okay, so that's why I want to really help people to understand this. If they have self-limiting beliefs, if they have real impairment of their abilities because of how they view themselves, and then sabotaging themselves by that. Okay, and then just by repeating it, studying it, doing something with your mouth is not going to help you. You got to be able to look at your own beliefs and then rewire them. That means you have taken some time, you have developed this, and then that will take time for them to reverse. If you don't, if you go on having those self-limiting, what happens is you give real strength to them, and then they will be so strong. Even now, some people in young age also they have these strong self-limiting beliefs that kind of makes them not realize. Otherwise, they would have, right? It could be study, it could be play talent, it could be musical talent, any number of things. Okay, so there is one particular yoga. It's called Raja Yoga. Okay, this is about mind. Okay, all the asanas, breathing are involved part of it. It has got 8 limbs actually. The first two are moral, ethical, then physical asanas, then breathing, the pranayama, and then withdrawing the senses and getting the mind in 3 steps. That is, focusing it and really focus on one thought, and then going beyond the thought into absorption of the real self. Okay, so that's pretty tough for people to understand and follow. But then the result is you will have a real good idea about where your mind is trained from, where it is going now, and what you can really understand the mechanisms of the thought, the the mind, and the calmness that you can get by really just understanding itself slows down the mind, and just having the insight about how this is doing, you will really be joyous to be a human being, and then live life, even though it is tough sometimes, live life with vigor and with a lot of happiness. So that's what we are going to do over the next few months. So there will be Sunday morning rooms dedicated to this topic around 10 o'clock. That's what we decided. And along with that room, we're going to put in a LinkedIn newsletter and a blog post in my website. And the book and the course will be introduced to you. And anybody wants to get them, they can get them. They can also send questions. If suppose somebody has a limiting belief and they are impaired by it, then they want to really transform it, then you can send me a DM and or come into my so many things I do, wellness club or rooms or whatever, right? There will be LinkedIn lives, there will be LinkedIn audio, and there will be Instagram live by themselves, and also the common rooms when I do all the social audio and video like this. Right now, I'm on video on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. I don't have the Instagram open today, but otherwise I usually open the video there also. And social audio, right now I'm on the Clubhouse and also Novi. Okay. So it is the best for you to communicate with me, either coming up here or sending the, you know, uh, DM. I could address. But, lots of modern society kind of allow these negative thinking or limiting beliefs to go on to the extent where they become themselves big elephants. You cannot change them after a while. So that is the case with many people. But even those people have a chance, because all you need to do is pay attention and be aware of them when they are popping up, and then slowly you can reverse them. You could do, first of all, be aware, and then really learn the affirmations to reverse them. And then when the real practice, you can really see them, and gradually they lose the power. Just like you have reinforced them by unconditionally thinking or allowing you to operate through you, you have a chance to rewire and change them. Okay. The proof is for you to really experiment with it and exercise with it, and then see the result. No amount of therapy will work, no amount of medication will work. Only thing that will work is your own dedication for your self-study. In life, in the mirror of relationship, you see yourself how you are. Okay? This is something I learned from Jiddu Krishnamurti. He said, as you get out and go into the life and encounter life, so many people, they may pose a challenge for you, but you can see yourself how you are reacting to it, and then in that mirror of relationship or with life, you can study yourself, how you actually are, not who you like to be, not what you wish to be or hope to be, but how you are. Are you reacting from your limbic system with the fear and anger, or are you being slow, considerate, discriminatory, so that you will make a wise decision and then you're stabilized in that? See, from the ancient wisdom, they have several series of things that they want us to achieve as human beings. I agree with them. The first one is, first of all, know who you are. You are not just this body-mind complex, but you are that, divine spark within you that is giving you all this shape and form and all that. And after you have realized who you are, to be stabilized in the wisdom is the next step. That is where I'm coming from all this. A lot of people lose the moment they see a little, but if you can use yourself, you get stronger and better. Okay, and after that, there is a liberation from your own mind while living. That's called Jivan Mukti. So, Atma Sakshara is the self-realization. Then Sthita Prajna is the person stabilized in wisdom. And Jivan Mukti is the person who is liberated while living from his own mind, from his own limiting everything, right? So you understand that. And these days, it's fashionable to tell everybody we don't have time. That God help you. You have to make time for this. And the people also say, "Oh, I'm more for the instant gratification. Tell me in 3 seconds what it is." Good luck. You are not going to be attentive to anything, you'll always be trying for the instant gratification and miss out the bigger, long-term benefits of joy and peace and happiness. Okay, so I have heard all these arguments. I have heard all the people who are kind of educated but not really very wise in these matters. They just want to defend their position. But if you ask them in a way, are you silent? Are you joyful? Are you happy? Are you in the external circumstances? They usually tell you how they are. Hardly have peace of mind. They hardly have joy, and then they have always the instant gratification, right? We call it Shreyas versus Preyas. Shreyas is a long-term happiness, peace, and adjustment to the whatever it is, long game, right? That is Shreyas. Preyas is instant gratification, and then go and fall in a big ditch of life where you are miserable for several years. So people make decisions according to what they have known, what they have perceived. But many people miss the wisdom for what it is. It is a real exploration of human being, not just the body-mind complex, but also what is there after thought, what is there in silence, how things we can discover. So just a simple thing of calming your mind down and then sitting down is very difficult. They want to drug themselves or they want to take alcohol to calm themselves down. But they never enjoy what is the real inner calmness that gives you immense peace and also immense happiness and joy. Okay. So I'm trying to do my bit for whoever comes my way. And this is something I've been studying neuroscience, other neuroscientists also, and they said something very telling one time. They said, not me, they said the ancient Indian yogis know the neuroscience way better than us. Now we are trying to prove what they said a little bit, and then that is where the modern science is can be useful in this matter, because you can have, uh, for example, I would say you are really agitated, your mind is always kind of going all over, then I will come and give you one poem that was compiled by the ancients in a very important mathematical score, and you listen to it, even though you don't understand it. The vibes and the rhythms that are produced within you slows down your mind. So we can take a EEG and see what kind of waves. You have a faster wave or slower wave. You record the faster waves in your natural original condition, but the mind is going all over. And then you are given this particular sloka to listen to, repeat it, and then after the 5 minutes of that, they have shown the waves have come down. So very important. We all know about the music, but these are compiled on scales that are really very, very vibrationally and very useful for us. Okay, I have so many things like that. There is a yoga practice where you know how to take deep breaths, how to hold the breath, you have to do it in a proper way. You have to learn from teachers who are already working on that. Okay, so don't go and experiment on your own, but get guidance and then properly do them. And then that simple act of breathing itself not only prolongs your life, but also calms your mind and takes you much deeper levels of understanding yourself. So anyway, so you can see what I'm saying. We have problems of modern age where we have attention deficit, we have burnout, we have stressed out people, we have so many problems from the stress, and chronic disease are getting worse. our relationships are getting worse, and people are really feeling lonely and all that. And we have physiological problems because of that. And all the diseases that we have is because of we don't pay attention to what is happening in our body, what is happening in our mind. So many people want to influence you to not to use your body and mind properly, right? Or getting sick with it, right? So this is about understanding those problems. This is about understanding our body mind much deeper. This is about bringing some of the ancient uh, things that you could do to control your mind, to control your body, and then help yourself by creating inner abundance, which seeps out. Like, for example, you have a belief of, I want to have things free. How many people are obsessed with getting things free? Right? That itself is a limiting belief, because if you earn for it and then get that properly, you have a lot more confidence about yourself, your ability to make it, so you're not dependent, and you feel really good about yourself. Suppose you know what you want to do, that would be good too. If you have a lot of guilt about some things, you know how much it robs you of the energy. That's also, if you have fear, that also robs energy. So if you have like a no respect for resources, like it took me so many years, so much of to learn this. But if the people don't respect it, in the sense they don't really take it serious, they don't really understand it, then they go on watching the world suffer. They go on watching all the destruction we are going to the planet. They go on watching wars and everything going on. Just they are happy because they could assert their ego, and they could assert their ignorance, or assert their own whatever stupid race or whatever it is. Those kind of things are very primitive to me. So pay attention to the larger problems, help if you can, and also don't be victim of these things. So you develop the inner abundance, then you don't have to really depend on anybody to get free stuff. You will not be burdened by your own lack of knowledge of what you want to do in life, and you will be burdened by your own guilt and fear, and you don't have any respect for the resources. Then you are going to abuse them or waste them. Okay, that's such a waste. So once you see them, then you see, okay, what did the human beings learn and worked on this? Then you don't say these people are talking about only ancient stuff that is written. That's why I don't take it. Be my guest. You're the loser. But if you really want to take an examination, study, and learn from it, then you are wise. You don't have to accept them just because somebody said, though. You can take that and take into account. See how many people are doing yoga in America? Millions of people. And but they may not know the depths of yoga benefits, the depths of yoga practice. That's okay, but they have started doing that, and then we can lead them into further understanding as they see fit for them. Okay, so don't be prejudicial about ancient wisdom, and open your eyes, invite and learn from it, and then use them to really change your self-limiting beliefs if you have any of them. And that's why my effort is this. This is a small effort, but hopefully even one person gets benefited from my 6 months. Probably it will be my effort, and somebody reads my book and gets some help. I'm i'm very happy. Okay, my happiness is just producing these as my expressions, and let it go where it goes. Okay, I hope people will look at it and do that. Okay, anybody wants to come or just want to stay there? This has become a habit. Nobody wants to come up, and I come up to everybody's room and talk about everything, but nobody wants to come up. That's kind of frustrating sometimes, but then that's their choice. Okay. So with that, I will be taking leave for today, and it's kind of introduced what I'm going to do and why I'm doing it, and why it is so passionate for me. Okay. So if you want to come up, I'll stay open for a few more minutes. Otherwise, we'll have to close the room. Okay. You see, it's supposed to be a dialogue. You guys are supposed to come and tell me what do you think about it. At least, you know. Yeah. Finally, Jason. Thank you, Jason. I'm getting annoyed here because. Hi, Jason.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You had mentioned a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
just talk about burnout,
Yeah.
and that's something I'm struggling with just in my own life and in
Yeah.
my career.
I'm
And
a burnout coach, so you can ask me all you want, Jason.
what was that?
I'm a burnout coach for the physicians. That's what.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, I'm working on things
Mhm.
like working on my values and living into my values
Yeah.
and setting good boundaries with my time, and I joined Noom so I could work more on
Yeah.
my living healthier, eating healthier,
Yeah.
and just wondering if any thoughts or
Yeah. That's good.
anything like something really
Yeah.
like what would be the one big thing that you would say, okay, if you're dealing with burnout,
Let
this is
me.
what you should focus on?
Yeah. Let me put it. What I do is I do comprehensive self care. So it depends upon how they are eating, how they are exercising, how they are taking rest and sleep, and how they are managing their mind. These four pillars I focus on, right?
Okay.
Each person is different, right? Nothing right or nothing wrong. But then sometimes people may not realize they're not eating. But like my physician friends, they hardly make time to eat. You know, they grab
Right.
something and then gobble it up and go. That's not the right way to eat. You got to sit down and chew it and enjoy it. They don't do that because there's a lack of time. The same thing about the sleep. They hardly have good sleep because they are not able to rest properly and unwind themselves so properly and all. So a lot of civilization issues, but we can understand and change them. So if I give you a superficial answer, that will be superficial. But if I go through everything what you are doing, then it will be. So all you have to do is reach out to me DM, then we can talk privately, detail about it. Okay?
Sure, I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah, just send me a DM and then I will call you and we'll talk. Don't worry about money anything. I'm not interested in that. I just want some relief for people. Okay?
Oh, thank you. I will, yeah, I will shoot you a message. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Then I can really personally go through what you are trying to do and what could be my recommendations, and then you can try them.
Great. Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. A lot of people call me, so no problem.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Yeah, that's what I want. Some people come and open their heart and let's be friends. And if I can help them, I will be more than happy. Okay. Um, so thank you, Jason, for coming up. And I will look forward to talk to you and maybe work out some ways that you could benefit. Okay. Anybody else? I see Cecile there. Cecile, you can come up and tell me what you think about this. So this initiative really generated a lot of energy for me because the number of things I could do. This is not new for me though, because when I'm trying to train people for the burnout, most of the time the burnout is they don't know how to harmonize because things are thrusting on them, and there will be exhaustion, physical, psychological, mental exhaustion. Either the work is too much or work is too difficult or atmosphere is bad. So many ways, right? But look at the morning routine that I do. That came out of that when I saw so many people are stressing out and burning out and not really preparing themselves to the work. So the theme is, how can you stretch and breathe into the body so that the physical body is energized, right? And you can also train your mind to be in the present. That's why focus on the breath and focus on the changes you have. That's the second thing, you know. Then stretching and breathing too. And then the third thing is the focusing your mind in the present moment and being like that through the day, right? And the fourth thing is really observe your thoughts. Don't yield into them or don't suppress them, but becoming the watcher, observer, or the witness. Then you can see the thoughts are coming and you're not involving and going there. And then you involve only what is really relevant to the work. Otherwise, keep quiet. You will save a lot of energy. Okay. So those four things I do in the morning: stretch your body, deep breathe, be in the present moment, and fourth one is observe the thoughts. And also three attitudes you want to cultivate. One is not to react to everything easily. That is the limbic loop I was explaining earlier. And really cultivate a service attitude. You are going there to provide a service. Your life will be very rich that way, you know. Even if you are paid a salary for what you do, but when you do the work, do it like a service. Okay, that helps me a lot, you know. And then finally, be equanimous in your wins, in your losses during the day. If you are losing something, learn from what you are doing that is leading to the loss, and then that way it could be your win, right? Turning the negativity to positive. If you have real win, don't go overboard, but just celebrate equanimously. Okay, that's how we don't allow our ego to grow, and then we will be egotistical and we'll be looking down on people. But if you say it's a good thing, so many people helped me, or so many people I could thank for, or I could thank the Almighty God for allowing me to have this win. Something like that brings you to humble, to be grateful, which is good chemistry for you inside. So do that. I invite people to come and attend my morning routine where I want them to actually I stretch, I breathe with you, I keep my mind in the present, I watch my thoughts if they should come up. Okay. And then I do recall my service attitude. I don't react because I deep breathe, the vagus nerve is stimulated. So I respond to my tasks, to my responsibilities, but I don't react emotionally for every small thing. That came up over period of time, right? Several years. And then finally, the equanimous nature. Okay. So thank you, and attend my morning routine. And Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, there will be a big room on this initiative, Abundance Inside Out. How can you get over your own self-limiting beliefs? Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.